Capture 5. The dead rises. 1 second later, they stand in a water well in the middle of the cemetery. The water well was made of an art-like formed cement. The edge was flat and approximate 20 centimeters wide. Not before the next 2 hours, no employer would arrive the area. To leave the water well, they take the treasure box on the edge of the water well. Before Fino could leave the water well, Sam lost the hold and the box smashed on the ground with a loud bang. In this process, the cover of the box opening and a clay vessel roll out of the treasure. The clay vessel didn't break to their surprise. To their luck, the vessel was buried in sand. In the rest of the sand, stick a book covered in brown leather. On the cover of the book was written in black, Chronicalum Magicca Historica Mercinus. Sam was confused about this sentence. He had Latin in the school, and it sounds like Latin, but it wasn't. It was a mixture of Latin and very soon British. Fino take the clay vessel from the ground and hold it in his hand. It was totally insignificant, without gold or other symbols or any warning and design. In the meantime, Sam takes a closer look into the book. In the book were more of the British Latin, pictures and drawings. He touched the letters, but nothing happened. No changing like the symbols on the walls. At this moment he couldn't get information from it. Fino took a closer look at the clay vessel. The vessel was closed with a cover of clay and sealed with liquid cover. Fino shook the vessel and believed he heard jewels. He thought they could be richer and let the vessel fall on the ground. With a sarcastic "Oops!" Fino smiled from one ear to the other. The clay vessel shattered in 1,000 pieces and green stones appear between the clay pieces. He was already happy and believes he found emeralds. But in the moment he wants to catch the stones, they transform to green fog. The fog flies in all directions. The vampires were exactly in the middle of the cemetery and the green steam disappears in circles in some graves. On every grave the fog breaks in 2 parts and flow into the earth or goes to another. The boys wait a few minutes but nothing happened. For that reason they take the sand out of the box and stand it right on the ground. After the cover and a book were in the box, they tried to take the golden treasure to their car. Without a vessel and the sand, the box was very easier. It was a disaster because it means the gold and the jewels were not so much they think. Close to the exit gate, the vampires watched a strange event. Suddenly hands and arms shot out of the relative fresh graves. Only from the old graves didn't appear dead corpse. In movies the zombies come out of the ground at once, but that is bullshit. It is quite logical. The zombies need time to dig out themselves. It isn't fast like the movies, and totally not at once. At first the bodies have to open the coffin cover with their nails. The fingertips snap after a while and the finger bones get free. After this they could scratch faster into the wood and dig faster. But to dig 2 meters through dirt needs time. Time between 15 and 30 minutes depends on the deepness and the density of the dirt, or how much time is gone after the funeral. To dig through soft dirt is much easier than hard dirt. Ask somebody who works in a garden. He or she will confirm it. From minute to minute it will be more and more zombies. The digger came slowly, step for step, to the vampires. Sam gets scared and let the box fall. After the crash, the cover open and the book slide on the ground. As a bloodsucker with supernatural power and fastness, they are not much afraid about zombies. The different view was only surprising, and the ugly appearance was for vampires also disgusting than for a human. The boys were more disgusted than afraid. As the first zombie attacked Fino with a bite, the vampires lost at once their sorrowless and get panic. Fino could take his arm back before the zombie can bite. At the same moment he turns and kicks the biter against the head. If it were a human he will be dead, but it was a zombie and the success was weaker. The moving body crashed with full power on the ground and lost some teeth, but a few seconds later it began to stand up. In the meantime Sam searched for spades. He broke into a garden house and takes 2. The lock was no problem for him. He snapped it up with bare hands. Vampire power. In a similar garden house they found the spades they used to dig out the old man. In the meantime Fino played dentist with the stand-up zombie with heavy beads in his face. Sam searched in the darkness and returned as fast as he can to his friend. Before the zombie get up twice, Fino kick against his head as hard as he can. At the same moment Sam screams, "Catch Fino! Maybe you have cut off his head! To kill us, it is necessary to extract our head or damage our heart!" Like Sam said, Fino turned the spade in a circle for speed up and cut off the head of the biter. For their surprise the zombies didn't die. The head fly a few meters away, but the body walk without stopping to Fino. Now the zombie can't bite him, but he want to catch him and take him to his head to bite him. That's an information the boys get later. To end this, Fino break the legs and cut the arms of the body. The torso doesn't stop to move and Fino hit him in panic with the spade. The boys were scared deep down in the core. Nothing can kill these creatures. The body parts move to them. It doesn't matter what they do. They can't stop them. Suddenly they realized that they haven't a chance to fight against the zombies, and from minute to minute they become more. Sam screamed, "Let it be! That's nonsense! We have to escape or they'll kill us!" Fino let fall the spade and ran to the treasure box. "Let it there! It's not worth!" "I want to catch the book. Maybe there is a solution for this. We need it," answered Fino, his friend. After he gets the book, the vampires run to the next exit. Sam cut every zombie head who stand in the way or break his legs. The last 10 meters to the gate were free. Outside he ripped off an iron step and bent it through the doors that no one can open the gate without tools. A few minutes later the doors were full of zombies who want to get out. They stretched their arms outside to get the vampires, but they were too far from the doors. For the luck of Sam and Fino, the iron doors were stable enough to keep the catastrophe inside. Suddenly Sam gets a scary idea. It is maybe not the only entrance or exit to the cemetery. He ran as fast as he can around the cemetery and checked the wall. On the opposite side it was a similar gate. As fast as he can he locked it with another iron step. To this late hour there were the last visitors of the cemetery. Now the main entrances were locked, but the wall had 2 security doors. To lock them, Sam pinched stones under the door. Now no zombie can escape. In the meantime Fino ran to the car, save the book and drive to Sam. After they get back to the hotel, they take all their stuff and checked out. A few minutes later they drive out of the town and were on the way back to Germany. At their escape out of the town, Sam wondered that no zombie get up in the cemetery of this town. The spell was obviously located only at this cemetery in the near of Stonehenge. Both hoped that will be its status quo, but if not, it will be the problem of the Britain. Sam explains, Great Britain is an island, and the sea will solve the problem. Sharks and canyons will stop the zombies. In the cold darkness of the deep sea, they get frozen and can't move to the rest of Europe. You forgot the tunnel between France and Britain, Fino commanded. We would blast it if it's necessary. In one drive, the boys get back to Germany. They didn't need sleep like we know. Only the few hours of stiffness were necessary and they can decide when it began. In the meantime the other vampire can drive. They stopped only once for petrol. They started the journey back in the morning and need only 20 hours inclusive with one traffic jam. In the news were in the meantime reported about the zombies. At first they thought it were a parade of freaks dressed like zombies. After a few reporters get eaten in the front of their own camera, somebody gets doubt that it is a parade. The journalists climbed over the wall to get an exclusive interview from the funny people. The gates were totally locked and no one can open it without big tools. At first they pass the attacking zombies without an incident. They get scared and run away, but no one believed on real zombies. After a few failed attacks, they began to laugh about the dumb, funny people. A few meters off the gate they began the live report. The reporter tried to interview some zombies, but he gets only noises and attacks. That was boring. He get angry and defend himself with fast moves. A few meters behind a reporter lost a zombie his balance and fall to the ground. The whole team began to laugh, because they thought it is a joke. During the zombie get up on his feet, the reporter finished his report. Close to the end, the zombie catches him from behind and bites him into the neck. With a loud scream, the reporter sank on his knees and the blood was pumping on the ground. The neck vein was wide open and pumps blood out of the body in a rhythmic heartbeat. After the other zombies smell the blood, all come to the body. After they start to eat the fresh meat, it was clear that's real zombies. The reporter tried to crawl away, but he hasn't a chance. As the cameraman and the sound technic saw that, they run like the wind to the next security exit. The cameraman tried to open it, but it doesn't work. In a normal situation the doors could open every time from inside. But with the stones under the door, it wasn't possible. Suddenly the soundman was attacked by a zombie. The cameraman gets panic and ran to the next tree in the near of the wall. As fast as he could he climbed on the tree and tried to crawl to the top of the wall. At the next moment the branch break. He fall against the wall and lost his consciousness. As he crashed on the stone path, he breaks his neck and died at once. That was his luck, because he was dead in the moment the zombie starts to eat him. After these horrible pictures, the most people believe on mental diseased guys and not on zombies. The audience call the police to lock up the crazies. The first dead get cups and a muzzle. As the mass began to attack the warning policemen and they get bitten, the lawmen began to shoot on the dead. After the first shots, they realized that these are real zombies and nothing can kill them. The policemen fire all they have with no result. You can hear the shooting more than 2 kilometers. Sam and Fino know it is not possible to stop the zombies with guns. What they didn't know was that the problem just begun. With the many dead and the new zombies, the spell gets bigger and split over the border of the cemetery. Without any notice, a few green fogs fly in all directions. Suddenly zombies get alive in other cemeteries of the nearest villages. At one day the undead killed, increased the number and the spell in a circle of 5 kilometers around the first graveyard. After less than 1 week, whole Britain was invaded from Walking Dead. The army shot, bombed and burned all they have, but nothing could stop the catastrophe. The opposite happened, and the spell increased very fast, and the bomb split it better than any other method. They burned the zombies down and believe it works, but the fire set only the spell free. After we realized that the dead couldn't be stopped, the governments blow up the Eurotunnel to get rid of the danger. The Britain didn't want to close the best way for escape. The other European countries were afraid about zombie plague, that they ignore the meaning of the island people and blow up the tunnel from the French side. The Britain starts a mission to stop the explosion, but after seawater flushed the tunnel, they came too late and died in the icy water. For us it was necessary and we thought shit happens. After the flush, we were safe and the explosion keeps us the dead away. As the zombies appear in Ireland, we know the sea won't keep back the Walking Dead. Sooner or later the spell would invade the whole world. The sea can stop the zombies, but not the green fog, who increases with every death. The human didn't know about it, and do what they can against the plague. They thought the epidemic was spread through a virus like the movies. They believe protecting equipment could save the people and keep the virus under control. The ill countries only need guarantee, and the problem will solved after a time of medical research. That's bullshit, and they didn't find anything like a virus. The doctors explored that the zombies are in good health for that. They find no evidence of diseases, virus, bacteria or any other toxins in the body of the living corpse. Nothing what they explore could explain the curse. Only Sam and Fino know that it is a spell. After the human accept that they can't do anything about the plague, they began to evacuate as much people they can. But it was logical that they can't save all. As soon as possible, the first zombies will get up in another part of the planet. At the meantime, Sam and Fino tried to translate the book. They didn't find anybody who understands this forgotten language. The writer of the book used a mystery kind of a mixture of Latin, Old Roman and very soon Britain. The words they know haven't any meaning in the context. Sam and Fino try to learn the language with intuition. For that Sam read the words and Fino listen and try to understand like a baby learns a language. That of course didn't work. But after some readings Sam didn't get a few words out of his mind. In any kind he knows the words. Fino let Sam read the words again and again. Mercinus, Arfurius, Jambulus. Suddenly he gets it. Mercinus, Arfurius and Jambulus are Merlin, Artus and Camelot. In the century the words changed their meaning totally. Mercinus changed possible to Merlinus, and then to Merlin. After the magic book hears this exploration, it has a reference to translate himself. How a book can hear or understand a language they didn't know. They only saw the result. The letters and signs melt away and new appear. The text changed totally to English. Sam looks like a jerk after the changing. After he gets his mind back, he starts to read.